The adventure in Rome, Indiana, a small town called Rivertown, there lived a curious boy named Luca. Luca loved history and dreamt of visiting ancient places. His favorite place to read about was Rome, the capital of Italy, filled with stories of gladiators, emperors, and ancient buildings. One sunny morning, Luca's dream came true. His parents surprised him with a trip to Rome for his birthday. Luca was so excited that he could hardly believe it. He packed his bag quickly, making sure to bring his camera and his favorite history book about Rome. When they arrived in Rome, Luca was amazed by the beautiful city. The streets were filled with people, and everywhere he looked, there were ancient buildings and ruins. He felt like he had stepped back in time. The first place they visited was the Colosseum. The Colosseum was a huge amphitheater where gladiators used to fight. Luca's eyes widened as he stood in front of the massive structure. It was even more impressive than he had imagined. "Wow, this is incredible," Luca said. "I can't believe I'm really here." Luca and his parents walked around the Colosseum, listening to their guide tell stories about the ancient gladiators and the events that took place there. Luca could almost hear the roar of the crowd and the clash of swords. Next, they visited the Roman Forum, which was the center of ancient Rome. The Forum was filled with ruins of temples, markets, and government buildings. Luca walked along the ancient streets, imagining what life was like thousands of years ago. As they explored, Luca noticed a small, hidden path leading away from the main area. Curious, he asked his parents if they could follow it. They agreed, and Luca led the way. The path took them to a quiet, shaded garden with a beautiful fountain in the middle. There, they met an old man sitting on a bench, feeding the birds. He had kind eyes and a warm smile. "Hello," the old man said. "Are you enjoying your visit to Rome?" "Yes, very much," Luca replied. "I love learning about history, and Rome is my favorite place." The old man chuckled. "Rome is a city full of stories. Would you like to hear a special one?" Luca nodded eagerly and sat down next to the old man. His parents smiled and sat nearby, listening. "Many years ago," the old man began, "there was a young boy named Marcus who lived in Rome. Marcus loved exploring the city, just like you. One day, while wandering through the Forum, he found a hidden door that led to an underground chamber." Luca listened intently, his eyes wide with excitement. In the chamber, Marcus found an ancient scroll that spoke of a lost treasure hidden somewhere in Rome. The scroll had clues that led him on an incredible adventure through the city. He followed the clues, discovering secret passages and hidden places that most people never knew existed. "Did he find the treasure?" Luca asked, leaning forward. The old man smiled. "Yes, he did. But the greatest treasure was not gold or jewels. It was the knowledge and experiences he gained along the way. Marcus learned about the history of his city and the people who lived there. He became wise and respected, and he shared his knowledge with others." Luca thought about the story and realized that his own adventure in Rome was similar. He was learning so much and experiencing the history he loved. "Thank you for the story," Luca said. "I want to explore more and learn as much as I can about Rome." The old man nodded. "Keep your eyes open and your mind curious. There are always new things to discover." Luca and his parents continued their tour of Rome, visiting the Pantheon, the Trevi Fountain, and the Vatican. Each place was filled with history and beauty. Luca took many pictures and made notes in his book, wanting to remember every detail. On their last day in Rome, Luca and his parents visited the Sistine Chapel. As Luca looked up at the magnificent ceiling painted by Michelangelo, he felt a deep sense of awe. The artwork was breathtaking, and he understood why it was considered one of the greatest masterpieces in the world. As they walked back to their hotel, Luca thought about everything he had seen and learned. He felt grateful for the opportunity to visit Rome and for the stories and experiences he would carry with him forever. Back in Rivertown, Luca shared his adventure with his friends and classmates. He showed them his pictures and told them about the places he had visited. Everyone listened with interest, and some of his friends even decided they wanted to visit Rome one day too. Luca's trip to Rome had inspired him to continue learning about history and exploring new places. He knew that there were many more adventures waiting for him, and he was excited to see where his curiosity would take him next. The story of Luca's adventure in Rome became a cherished memory, reminding him that the world is full of wonders and that there is always something new to discover. And so, Luca's love for history and adventure grew stronger, leading him to many more incredible journeys in the future.